Hey loves, I miss you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's been so long, but I had a death in my family and a lot of other stuff been going on, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. But hey, I'm back, and I'm finna give you guys the word for April and May. So um, it will be mainly all of April and the first half of May. Um, so April and May is going to be months of purification, purging, cleansing. Let's think of it as a spiritual detox. Okay? So, um, with that being said, Nipsey Hussle said something that I thought was very prophetic in one of his songs, and it said, "You can't catch what you don't, you can't see you can't catch what you don't see." Right? So with that being said, in order to be able to deal with certain things, you have to be able to see them, right? It has to be a purging, a cleansing that take place so things can come up, because a lot of things are hidden, and especially specifically when it comes to the heart, which is the subconscious mind. You can't see what's really in there because it's hidden so deep within that you don't know that it's there. And sometimes you don't know it's there until it's too late, right? So basically, um, God is basically about to take you to another level, and He's about to begin to show you the difference between the wheat and the tares. So, if you know anything about wheat or tares, um, wheat and tares look exactly alike. They're almost identical. And you can't tell a difference until it's time to harvest, until it's time for a harvest to come, until it's time to, or whatnot. So with that being said, let me look up. I want to read this part. If this come up. So with this being said, wheat crop grows around the world, and it have a unique production cycle. So with this being said, a supply expectations they can shift according to the weather or the growing conditions or whatnot. So if we take this, correlate this to life, right? Meaning that whatever is coming, whatever harvest that you have is coming, right? Whatever blessings, whatever abundance, right? Prosperity or whatever that you've been waiting on, it depends on how you complete your cycle. That season, go in there. However you complete that season, that's going to determine how your harvest is going to grow and how it's going to come, right? So another look. So we all know that we're entering spring, right? So spring wheat, basically, it harvests. So harvesting of winter wheat. So things that we've been waiting on from our last season, from our winter season. It actually occurs during mid-May to mid-July or whatnot. So I'm sharing this to say that we definitely have some things coming in, blessings, a harvest that's about to get ready to sprout. within the next month, to July. And for some it'll be a little longer or whatnot. So, with that being said, yeah, I'm sorry, my baby is distracting me. So I'm getting like mom brain right now. But anyway, so with that being said, I want to go into the vision that I had. So, well, one of them anyway. So, I had a vision of an ATM. It was this woman. She was sitting there waiting to receive her money. But I guess it took too long, so she left. So, by the time I walked up, it came out. So I took it. But in my heart, I knew it wasn't mine. So I gave it to her. I gave it, I handed it to her. So gave it to her. So I'm back at the ATM and a envelope came out. My envelope. So I was like, part of me, like, see, it happened again. Like, part of me wanted to take it. But like I said, I knew that that was not mine. That was not my blessing. So I gave it back. After that, I saw number 10 pop up on the ATM. And change just started spitting out of it. Just the outpour of change, which it was actually quarters that came out of it. So we're breaking this down, but before I get into it, the change was coming out, and I didn't say anything, but in my heart, I rejected it. I didn't want it. I didn't want the change because it was not what I wanted. It was not how I wanted to receive what I wanted, right? So, basically, it was just a sign for us to be mindful of how our blessings, our next level of blessings, our blessings and how they come. And a lot of times we get things, but it's not in the way that we would like to receive them, so we reject it. And this is a warning to a lot of us that are stubborn and want what we want in the way that we want it. Because you're going to miss out on some true abundance. Like, I'm talking about like a overflow, right? If you don't check yourself. So that's why this next month and a half is going to be very important. It's going to be so crucial because whatever's laying up in you, it needs to come up. Whatever is hidden, it needs to come up because it's going to make you miss out on this if you do not take the time to get everything that God is trying to get out of you in this season. Because some stuff about to come, I'm telling you. Some stuff about to hit, I'm telling you. And you're going to miss it. So let's diagnose the division. 10. 10 is significant for rules and law, which another word for divine order, right? The 25 cent that came out of the machine or whatnot, if you look at the 2 and the 5, I broke it up as in 2 5s, right? 2 and then 5, and only because of the 10. So that means double. So 5 is grace, so that means double, meaning grace upon grace. So that's what helped me break up, determine how I would break up the 25. How I would basically interpret the 10 on the ATM was because I got coins which was, the 25 cents that was spilling out of the machine. So basically, this next level of blessing is not gonna look like what you think it should look like. It's not. It's gonna come as a surprise. Yeah, it ain't gonna be like you want it, but it's gonna be way bigger than you want it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be way more. So, a lot of times we get caught up on other people. Worried about other people's lanes, what they got going on, their blessings and what he doing for them. This ain't time to be worried about other folks in this season. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself or whatnot. So, with that being said, what else? So when we look at grace, divine grace is basically divine influence. So basically, it's divine grace is to operate in divine influence. It's also you're able to impart strength to endure trials and resist temptation or whatnot. So, in this season, how would it look? April and May look or whatnot, doing your purification and your cleansing and your spiritual detox part. Things from the past probably come up, flashbacks, memory recall. Things that you didn't know was there is just gonna be like, like, dang, like, where's this coming from? And you're gonna be like, man, I thought I dealt with this, or I thought, whatnot, or I didn't even know that I had an issue with this. So as those come up, you deal with them. You deal with them immediately. And a lot of times we have these issues or this notion that we just throw stuff to the side and we ignore things and we think, if we pretend like it's not there, then magically it will just disappear, right? But that's not the case. It's gonna always be there until you deal with it. And I talked in the video early on that time does not heal wounds. I don't know who told you that, your mama, your dad, whoever, they lied to you, because it doesn't, your teacher, but it's not. You dealing with those wounds are gonna heal that wound. That's the only way that you can heal a wound, is by you actually taking the time to deal with it. It's almost like a window crack. If a rock hits your window, if you wait to deal with that crack that rock hit, that place that rock hit, is gonna expand. It's gonna be a bigger crack before you know it, within the next day or two, especially when the sun hit it, meaning when some heat hit it or a little pressure, get on it, it's gonna come up. And it's gonna expand, and it's gonna cost you way more than it would have had you dealt with it then and you seal that crack. But if you don't seal that crack, then it's gonna cost you a whole window shield. So back to that. You want to deal with the issues that's trying to come up in this next month. Because if you don't deal with it, it's going to cause you more confusion. More confusion. But if you deal with it properly, it's going to send you into it's going to usher you into your next season, which will be a season of clarity. Whenever you have clarity, you have peace. Okay? Whenever you have peace, you have love. Okay? So, with that being said, it's gonna take a special level of patience. Not only just patience, but of quietness to see everything that you need to see. And when you see the things that you need to see, because God probably give you a flashback and you be like, man, or memories, and you be like, dang, that was me. See it for what you need to see it for. Ain't no need to go into denying. I don't want even me that that ain't how I seen it, or that ain't how I remembered it, or just go with the flow or whatnot. Just go with it. And like I said, it's gonna take another level of quietness as well, because um the not too long ago, it was a normal day, and it was something just told me stop, and I stopped, and this truck ran a light. Had I not listened to my higher self, right? Had I not yield to the voice, to that still voice, that truck would have hit me and probably killed me because it was going fast. So what I'm saying is, it's gonna take another level of patience to get through this. Not only that, but it's also gonna take you being able to hear, being a quiet place, being able to hear this quiet, still voice. And this voice is what's gonna help lead you. It's what's gonna help you cross over, basically, to where you need to be. I hope this makes sense to y'all, because I know it's kind of like I'm like jumping from here to here, but I hope this make, I guess this my adult ADD ADHD kicking in. But anyway, Allison, you're too loud. Okay, thank you. In there. I'm sorry, y'all. So, with that being said, mm, just listen to your higher self. Listen to that quiet voice. When he's trying to speak to you, when God's trying to speak to you, just yield to it. Because a lot of times we get into the everyday things, everyday um, noise, and we forget to just listen. And like I said, that was a normal day for me. Had I not listened, yeah, it wouldn't be no more me probably. So what I'm saying is just be mindful in this season. Be very cautious, and just take the opportunity to actually go within, um, so you can see the things that you need to see and hear the things that you need to hear. Because, like I said, God is always speaking. He's always talking, and He got a lot to say. A lot to say. Okay, you blow your mind if you actually sit down and you just get quiet and you listen. And a lot of times it don't come in a loud voice. It come in a still, quiet voice. So I hope this helped y'all. Y'all be great.